Okay, if you're here early, and if you're not, you're watching this recording, we're going to start with some foam roller, as usual, but we're going to do it a little bit of a proactive way. So when we do proactive foam rolling, it means we're trying to set our body up for success and activation on the other side of the body. So proactive is going to be to open up the front side of the body, in a nutshell, right? So let's just start standing, and we're going to use the foam roller to open up the front side of the hip. So right here, we're just going to move the skin using the foam roller, and we're just moving it up and down, creating a little bit of heat. I'm not pushing very hard, just creating a little bit of heat on the upper part of the quad. And then we're just going to do the same thing. So just by going into that split stance, we had a little bit of length to the joint, a little bit of length to the flexors of the hip, and we're just trying to go into extension. And so just nice and easy, creating some heat. Remember, skin has a response as well. So even if you're just influencing the skin and getting more blood flow, that's a good thing, right? So nice and easy. Then we'll go one more time each side using the foam roller. You can do it with a big foam roller. Get your big foam roller. There's no reason not to be able to do this with a big foam roller. Okay, other side. Heat on the front side of the hips. Okay, good. Next thing we want to do is just get a little bit of ankle mobility by pushing the knees over the toes. So we've got a little bit of heat going here, and we're just going to go knees over toes, and we're adding motion through the ankle joint, but we're also adding length through the back side of the lower leg. So just proactive by creating flexion here. Just nice and easy. And just paying attention, self-awareness, body scan, like how tight are my lower legs? Nice and easy. Good. All right, let's go back to the foam roller. And this time we'll take it into a seated position. And we're going to work that same feeling of moving the skin through this anterior tip. So just nice and easy through the front side of the calf. Front side of the lower leg. Okay, and then we're going to go down the side through these peroneals, now known as the fibularis muscles. So we're just going to work lateral aspect. We're not pushing too hard. You can go down into the ankle, and here's the next joint that we really want to influence using that little bit of friction to create heat. And when we get heat, we get blood flow. Okay? Good. Let's go the same thing, other side. And again, we're just getting started. We're just going to start to move the body in a second, but we're doing more of these techniques that set the body up for success. And the more you can spend time doing these, this mobility is just not for Monday, guys. This is a daily event. I'll probably do this all again later today to just ensure. I mean, I think the younger you are, the easier it is to keep the body moving. But the older you are, right through the front side of the ankle here, the older you are, the more important it is to do this preventative care. So we're going to offset a lot of the training loads that we enjoy so much. We're going to try and stave off injury and possibility for discomfort by doing that. Okay, so we've got through anterior tib, through the fibularis, we've worked through the anterior part of the hip. Now we're going to go into that nice big extension of the upper back through the spine. So right here we've got the foam roller just below the shoulder blades. We're just going to go here and do a nice big extension, and let's go 5 of those. 2, tuck the chin, support the neck. 3, 4, and 5, and that all happened in the same place. Now we're going to scooch away so the foam roller goes higher on the upper back. And we're gonna do exactly the same thing. So now we're onto the shoulder blades. We can feel the shoulder blades kind of interacting with the foam roller, and we're just gonna extend through the elbows. I'm gonna go ahead and take a second and move because I'm hitting my kettlebells. Okay, there we go, 1. And you can feel that tightness in the chest. 2, we're gonna get to that in just a second. 3, 4, and 5. You know, sometimes it makes me, I always dress for work when I'm doing this because I'm on my way to work right after we do Mobility Monday. Nobody can train with me on Monday mornings before 7:30 because you guys are my focus. Okay, we're gonna take the fingertips, take that arm out to the side. You can even grab a wall if you want, or a pole or a bar, just to give a little bit of stretch. And we're just going to use manual therapy through the fingertips to work through the front side of the chest. Good. So we want that tension, a little bit of extension here. Open the shoulder and just a little bit of tension into the chest. We'll do the same thing other side. So we're just opening this front side of the shoulder. You might feel that through the bicep. And just nice and easy through the chest. So you might have been paying attention to this weekend. You know, the timing of these, we keep all the sessions on YouTube, so you never know. Sometimes it's a walk back in time. Good, we're gonna go into a half kneeling position. When we do the half kneeling position, usually we're at midnight, straight down the middle. Today we're going straight into that 45 degrees. And we're just going to push the knee over the toe from this position. Nice and easy. Anyway, it was Ironman this weekend in Kona, the boys edition, 2024. And had a very good day. Had a tragic day in some ways as well. Trevor Foley and I have been working together for a while, and it was so exciting to watch Trevor move up through the bike field, put himself in position to maybe even compete for a top 10 or a top 5 on the run, and had a horrible crash, almost into T2. He was set to have the second fastest bike split ever on the island. If you don't think that's lighting a fire within, you're crazy. That young man is gonna make a big impression. Mark my words. He's wonderful, and I just feel for him. The other part of that story is Rudy Von Berg making the podium and becoming the fastest all-time man from America, from the United States, on the island, and took that crown from also one of my athletes, Timothy O'Donnell. So it was a great weekend, but it was also a sad weekend, kind of melancholy on that. And I don't know about you, go ahead and stand up. So we went knees over toes, 45 degrees both ways. And we're gonna go into a nice wide stance. Anchor your stance. So you know I use that. That's from Foundation Training, Dr. Eric Goodman. Heels outside of toes. That puts your hips into internal rotation. First movement we're going to do here is just push the hips back into that hinge and then just gently come back. So giving you that side angle, we've got nice anchored lower body. Push the hips back, keep the chest up, and we want the integrity of the spine to hold true. And we're just working through the hips. 3, 4. So as we ride our bikes, you never want to get back pain. You know you can hold your back or your spine in a nice neutral position and just work through the hips. And that gives you the chance to just sit in the bike position in a much more comfortable way. Okay? From right here, anchor the stance, push the hips back just a little bit, stay there, and we're just going to take that right hip to the midline, left hip to the midline. We always want to warm up and get those hips rotating, right? So this is internal rotation of the left hip as it comes to the midline, internal rotation of the right hip. As soon as the hip stops, the shoulder stops. There's a relationship here. Good? Good. We don't have much tension because we've got the hands on the hips. I can feel more tightness here in my left side. My right side's pretty free, and my right adductor's pretty free. Okay, let's go into the half kneeling. We did this last week with a little bit of weight. I used my 10-pound plate. Today I'm just going to use a kettlebell. So as the modalities that I use for strength training, we've got hex bar, we've got a straight bar, we've got a mobile board, we've got kettlebells, we've got all dumbbells, all the things. I've got Vipers. Those of you in my premium strength group, I've got you guys doing Viper strength every Thursday for the next 4 weeks. 3. So those of you that aren't familiar with my premium group, I take this group of athletes pretty personally. They're from all different walks of life. Some are professionals, some aren't. But I take control of the strength program from my end and just give them assignments. And it's a wonderful experience for me because I get a little bit more connection with the overall performance of those people. Good, let's go to the other side. We're at 45 degrees, chest is tall, got our load right down the middle, knee over toe, and I can feel that little bit more tightness on that left side. 2. If you don't have weight for this, A, you should probably have a couple things at home. 4. But B, it just helps when you can upregulate or activate more muscle fibers as you go through some of your mobility. Sometimes we use moderate load to enhance mobility. So just so you know, there's a time and a place for all of these things. Good, and good, and good. All right, so you should just get that through that adductor. Okay, onto your stomach. Okay, dumbbells in the way, everybody's in my way. All right, we're just gonna go into this position. So we've got fingertips spread, elbows right in front of the shoulders, just in front. And from right there, your pubic bone is on the ground. Tuck your toes under in the back. Nice strong head position. And we're just going to hold in that position. Now, from here, we're going to take 5 big breaths. So interior muscle, that big diaphragm, we want to expand the rib cage from this spine extended position. Okay, so comfortable, there's not a lot of tension in the body, and we're just going to go inhale through the nose and exhale. Try to breathe into your back. Good. All right, so now drop the rib cage to the ground. Create as much space between the rib cage and the pubic bone as you can. Take your left hand out and your right hand out. And we're into this nice prone decompression breathing position from foundation training. So pull your palms away from the ground. Fingertips are strong into the ground. Head is in a strong position. Chin into throat. So we're getting stronger through the neck. And from right here, wrists and elbows off the ground. And all we're going to do is those 5 big breaths again. It's a little harder to move it when it's on the ground. Ready? Inhale. We're breathing vertical. We're breathing into the back of the body. Create space in the back of the rib cage. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Good, and we're gonna come right back, elbows right in front of shoulders, head is in a strong position, and we're just nice and strong. We're gonna go 3 breaths. Breathe into the back of the body, spread the shoulder blades in the back. Ready, inhale. Ribs are down in the front. And drop down. Rib cage is on the ground, fingertips away onto the ground, nice and strong. Palms, wrists, and elbows off the ground. Head is in a strong position. 3 big breaths in through the nose. See if you can walk your fingertips a little further. And good. All right, grab that foam roller again. We're going to take the knee up by the hip. And we're rolling down by the knee in the adductors. So we're just keeping the chest off the ground. just working through that. There's a whole bunch of muscles that actually attach down in there. One of them being the sartorius that starts up here, crosses. So lift the foot up. That puts the hip into internal rotation again. And you can see, as I drop my foot down, the femur goes into external rotation. So that lets all of these muscles, all these external rotators that are traditionally tight on endurance athletes, when I activate internal rotation, those muscles have to go long. So it's a weird kind of way to stretch your lateral hip, the lateral part of your hip, and that is sore on me. That's sore because I'm starting to emphasize my running now, because I had a fabulous trip in Mallorca. I made it through an entire week of riding. I took one day off, not because I had to. I think I just wanted my last day on the island to be a good day. So I rode Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then took Friday off. And then I rode Saturday, and I really enjoyed every single day. So, and it wasn't easy. If you follow me on Strava, you can see not only was it a huge uptick in volume for me, but it was also not easy. It was really a wonderful group of people. Keep that ankle up, and we're just working through it. And it was just nice to be able to recover. That was my biggest question. I didn't think I was going to have a problem doing the rides. I thought I was going to have a problem recovering and do it day after day after day. So super stoked with my current state of health and how I was able to sit on the bike and all of the above. Good, working through that internal rotation, and good. All right, so now let's take that foam roller right there, and we're just gonna elevate the back foot just a little bit. And all we're doing here is that half kneeling position, and we're just gonna work gently into the quad. Now, I see a lot of people taking that heel, trying to put it all the way up into the butt, and to do that couch stretch. You can start here. I don't put anyone heel to butt. I just feel like it's extreme and it's not necessary, right? So this is the beginning of the couch stretch, where you would put your foot up on the couch and you would go into this half kneeling position to open up the hip and the quad. And from here, even just that slight elevation, we're getting just a little bit more length through the knee and through the quads. So just right there, we're just gonna stay there. Gentle tugs. Good. And good. All right, let's change sides. Again, gentle changes. These are lasting changes. These are things that, I mean, they just come back to you year after year, day after day, week after week, all of the above. So when I go into that position, I get a gentle tug. Take that right knee over the right toe, just a little bit to add a little bit more, but nothing extreme. And we're just gonna gently move into that. Stay nice and tall with your rib cage. We've got the rib cage moving through the breath. Nice and easy. And good. All right, we're gonna do that one more time on each side. If I wanted to, I could grab a 10-pound plate. So again, this is 1.5 inches higher. That's it, 1.5 inches. Like, don't do extreme things, except for like inactivity. If you want to go extreme cycling, like, I'm not gonna lie, I had some really big fun descending some really fun mountains. Definitely risk, but I'm gonna take risks there. Not huge risks in the weight room. You know, that's just not my jam. So we're going to take risks when we play, when we ski. Maybe sometimes when we run downhill, we're like, oh gosh, there's rocks everywhere. Am I going to trip? But you're going to trust your body that you can keep up, and it's a risk worth taking. So always assessing, where is the risk? No one wants to get injured in the weight room or in a mobility session because you pushed it too far, right? Now we're just raising that arm up. Hopefully you do as I do, not as sometimes I just do instead of coach. Okay, we're doing the same thing other side. Elevate just a little bit more, not a lot. So right away, you get that little bit of stretch, and then the arm comes up. As soon as the arm comes up, that lat is usually tight, and you're just gonna get more length through the hip, and it's just very gentle. We're not doing these big extreme knee over toes right now. We're just going there. Just gently. Okay, good. And that's kind of where we started the day, was to create space and length in this anterior part of the hip. So now we can go back there and we can go a little bit more aggressive with the foam roller on those quads. We can get a little more aggressive on the lower leg at the back. And let's set that to the side. Okay, there's your anchored stance, heels outside of toes. Let's go the other way. Open the hips up, push the feet outside, toes outside of heels just a little bit. And we're just gonna go into 10 body weight squats, which initiates from a hinge. So the first move is hips to the back. Chest stays in a nice position of integrity. We're just gonna touch the ground. Knees can go wide, get into our hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Okay, good. We're going to work through some gorilla lift. I'm not going to set it up as traditionally as I would in the sense of foundation training. And foundation training is really one of the essence, probably the most unique part of how I approach strength for endurance athletes. It is something that people tend to skip in my programming. And I'm going to be teaching a class on Wednesday of foundation training. If you would like to join me and you're not a premium member, please reach out in the comments and I will be happy to send you the link and you can join me on Wednesday. So you get mobility Monday, foundation training Wednesday. All right? So just send me a note. I will put the link in the comment section. Okay? We're going to go down into the squat position. We're just going to take that arm and I'm just modifying a little bit. I want you to look up at it. And we're way out to the side, moving through the thoracic spine. Stay down in your squat. And one more each side. And good. All right. Like I said, it's not lost on me that people like to work hard. We equate hard work with big results. I can tell you from a very deep, knowledgeable place that to get on a podium in the men's field and be the fastest man ever from the United States in Kona, you don't have to overcook what you're doing in order to get there. There are times in the off season when we can actually exploit the strength training area to elevate your athleticism. But if you're already doing well, then let's be patient and let's let your body continue to adapt and evolve into the brilliance that is you. All right, you guys, have a great day. If you want to join me Wednesday for foundation training, I'll put the link in the show notes. You'll have to register. You don't have to pay anything, but I'll see you Wednesday. Peace.